When large ships find themselves in the midst of a storm or hurricane, they are at risk of encountering some of the strongest waves on Earth. The science behind these waves in storms and hurricanes is complex and fascinating. Ocean waves. While storm surge remains the greatest hurricane hazard for those on land, high waves are the greatest hurricane threat for those at sea. And some of the biggest waves on Earth are caused by monstrous storms called hurricanes. Storms and hurricanes are powerful weather systems that generate intense winds over the ocean. These winds can whip up massive waves that can reach heights of over 50 feet or more. The size and strength of these waves are influenced by a variety of factors, including the speed and direction of the wind, the duration of the storm, and the depth of the water. Powerful weather systems like hurricanes generate ocean swell, which spawns waves that roll out over great distances. Strong storms can create waves that are 50 feet 15 m high, with higher waves from time to time. The size and strength of waves depend on various factors, including wind speed, duration, and the distance over which the wind blows. As a storm or hurricane passes over an area, it creates a disturbance in the water known as a wave train. This wave train can travel hundreds or even thousands of miles from its point of origin, carrying with it enormous amounts of energy. When this wave train encounters a large ship, it can produce massive waves that can buffet and toss even the sturdiest vessels. Even a storm hundreds of miles away can cause intense waves along the coast from the energy that traverses through the water from the hurricane. One explanation is that wave trains travel thousands of miles across ocean basins, encountering other wave trains as they move. While cruise ships are built to endure such activity, there is only so much you can do when you are faced with a wave that large. Understanding the science behind waves in storms and hurricanes is crucial for sailors and ship captains to navigate safely through these treacherous conditions. By studying how these waves form and behave, scientists can better predict their movements and help ships avoid encountering them whenever possible. Large ships are more vulnerable to strong waves during storms and hurricanes due to their sheer size and weight. The immense size of these vessels makes them more susceptible to the powerful forces of nature, as they are unable to maneuver as quickly or easily as smaller boats. When faced with large waves, the sheer mass of a large ship can cause it to be tossed around more violently than smaller vessels, putting it at greater risk of damage or capsizing. Immense waves capable of sinking the largest ships might not be freaks of nature, but a common result of hurricanes. And container ships also have very large hatches on their decks, which means their overall structure is weaker than some other vessels and more susceptible to torsion or twisting. These large waves can damage vessel hulls, cause cargo to topple into the ocean, and put the lives of crew members in harm's way. Additionally, the height and weight of large ships make them more likely to be affected by the force of the waves. The taller superstructures on these vessels can act as sails, catching the wind and making them more difficult to control in rough seas. The weight distribution of a large ship can also play a role in its vulnerability to strong waves. If too much weight is concentrated in one area, it can cause the ship to become unbalanced and prone to tipping over. So in some cases, when the sea state is high, there is a probability of increased height of waves that a ship may encounter. Too much sail sheeted out too far can also render the boat out of control because of combined influence of wave and wind. Modern cargo ships are constructed of thick steel, but if the waves are large enough and their battering lasts long enough, the pounding of those impacts can still break a ship apart. Overall, the combination of size, weight, and design factors make large ships particularly susceptible to being caught in the strongest waves during storms and hurricanes. The impacts of strong waves on large ships can be devastating and pose a significant risk to both the vessel and its crew. When caught in a storm or hurricane, large ships are particularly vulnerable to the powerful forces of nature. The immense size and weight of these vessels make them more susceptible to being tossed around by the strong waves, leading to potential damage or even capsizing. Sailing in heavy storms can be dangerous as the strong waves will cause holes in the hull of the ship. Many of the ships were caught near the center of the storm and buffeted by extreme seas and hurricane force winds. From cargo being knocked overboard to equipment and hull damage, waves are a constant source of considerable damage to vessels and their contents. One of the main impacts of strong waves on large ships is structural damage. The force of the waves crashing against the hull can cause cracks, dents, or even complete breaches in the ship's structure, compromising its integrity and seaworthiness. This can result in water ingress, putting the vessel at risk of sinking. Obviously, these huge waves are able to inflict damage on ocean-going vessels. The structure of the hull can be compromised if the ship repeatedly slams during troughs between waves, even though hulls today are made of thick steel. This can result in dangerous consequences that may cause the vessel to capsize and sink. Additionally, strong waves can also impact the stability and maneuverability of large ships. As they are pushed and pulled by the powerful currents, these vessels may struggle to maintain control or stay on course, increasing the likelihood of accidents or collisions. That is because the weight of cargo helps stabilize the ship against the waves. In addition, there is a high chance that equipment such as the rudders or propellers may be damaged by the collision. Overall, the impacts of strong waves on large ships highlight the importance of proper navigation techniques, weather forecasting, and emergency preparedness to ensure the safety of both crew members and cargo during severe weather conditions at sea. So, if you are on a cruise and headed towards stormy weather or rough seas, trust that your crew and the cruise ship are well equipped to navigate a potential disaster. When navigating through strong waves during a storm or hurricane, it is crucial for large ships to employ strategic techniques in order to safely traverse the turbulent waters. One key strategy is to carefully monitor weather forecasts and sea conditions in order to anticipate the intensity of the waves and plan accordingly. By staying informed, ship captains can make informed decisions about when to alter their course or seek shelter in a safe harbor. Advanced stabilizer systems and reinforced hulls help ships navigate through turbulent seas, but a severe hurricane such as a Category 4 or 5 would put even the most robust cruise ship in significant danger. Since the weather can change very quickly, particularly when you are out on the water, it is vital that you pay close attention to weather forecasts and anticipate weather changes whenever possible. As such, the navigating officers get the information to decide the route the ship needs to follow for safe sailing. Another important strategy is for ships to maintain proper speed and direction while navigating through strong waves. By keeping a steady pace and staying on course, ships can minimize the impact of the waves and reduce the risk of capsizing or being thrown off course. Additionally, ships should adjust their ballast and cargo distribution to ensure stability in rough seas. Navigational measures are also taken on board a ship to combat rogue waves, especially in high sea states. A combination of slowing and turning to meet the waves at an angle will reduce your risk of capsizing. In heavy seas, the ship may need to use additional anchors or a combination of anchors and thrusters to maintain its position and stability. In addition, ships should utilize advanced navigation equipment such as radar, GPS, and sonar systems to help them navigate through stormy conditions with accuracy and precision. These technologies can provide valuable information about wave patterns, wind direction, and potential hazards that may be present in the water. By employing these strategies, large ships can increase their chances of safely navigating through even the strongest waves during a storm or hurricane. A large ship encounters massive waves in the midst of a storm, causing chaos and panic among the crew. As the ship sailed through the turbulent waters, towering waves crashed against the hull, sending shudders through the entire vessel. The crew members frantically worked to secure anything that could be tossed overboard by the violent waves. The sound of the roaring ocean drowned out any attempts at communication, adding to the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty on board. The massive waves seemed relentless, striking the ship from all directions and testing its strength to the limit. The captain barked out orders, trying to steer the ship through the treacherous waters and keep everyone safe. However, the sheer force of the waves made it nearly impossible to maintain control, causing the ship to lurch and sway unpredictably. Amidst the chaos, some crew members succumbed to panic, unable to cope with the terrifying ordeal unfolding before them. Others stoically carried out their duties, their faces grim with determination. Each wave that crashed against the ship served as a reminder of the raw power of nature, leaving everyone on board at its mercy. Despite the overwhelming nature of the situation, the crew continued to work together, relying on each other for support and strength. The ship may have been battered by the waves, but the resilience of the crew kept them afloat amidst the storm. The crew frantically works together to plot the safest course through the raging storm, but the fierce winds and towering waves are unrelenting. The ship pitches and rolls, causing chaos and fear among the crew members. Despite their best efforts, the storm seems determined to overpower them. As the storm intensifies, the captain calls out orders, the sailors scramble to secure the sails, and the helmsman struggles to keep the ship on course. The sound of thunder rumbles overhead, punctuated by crashing waves and howling winds. The crew's nerves are stretched to the breaking point as they battle against the relentless forces of nature. With each passing moment, the situation grows more dire. The ship groans and creaks under the strain, and the crew knows that their very survival is at stake. The captain's voice cuts through the chaos, urging his crew to stay strong and focused. But as the storm rages on, hope begins to fade. Despite their skills and experience, the crew realizes that they are no match for the full fury of the storm. With a heavy heart, the captain gives the order to turn back, knowing that their only chance for survival lies in fleeing from the storm's path. The crew reluctantly follows orders, their faces reflecting a mix of disappointment and relief. As the ship finally turns away from the storm, the crew's exhausted but grateful faces turn towards the calmer waters ahead. They may have been defeated by the storm, but they are alive and together, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Despite their best efforts, the boat ultimately succumbs to the power of the waves, starting to sink. The crew members work frantically, bailing water out of the vessel and trying to patch up any holes that may have formed on the hull. However, the relentless force of the waves proves to be too much for the small boat to handle. As the water continues to flood the boat, panic sets in among the crew. Some begin to pray for a miracle, while others frantically search for life jackets and any other means of survival. The captain issues orders in a calm but urgent voice, trying to keep the crew focused on the task at hand. Despite their best efforts, the boat slowly starts to list to one side, the weight of the water pulling it down into the depths. The crew members cling to the side of the boat, unsure of what to do next. Some look to the captain for guidance, while others simply resign themselves to their fate. As the boat finally succumbs to the power of the waves, the crew members are left floating in the water, hoping against hope that help will come soon. The once sturdy vessel now lies beneath the surface, a testament to the unforgiving power of the sea. Through sheer determination and a refusal to give up, some of the stranded crew members manage to find ways to sustain themselves and signal for help. Their unwavering perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds serves as a testament to the strength of the human will and the instinctual drive to survive. The tale of miraculous rescue and survival serves as a poignant reminder of the inherent resilience and courage that lies within us all, even in the darkest of times.